Welcome in. Only a few people are going to click on this video. And those are probably the ones that are serious about working out. I woke up this morning trying to convince myself that I don't need to do this today. And I think that's everyone who attempts to do something to better themselves. So because I woke up today not wanting to work out, I'm going to do an even harder workout, not to punish thyself, but to better. I'm going to attempt to do 100 inverted Mike Tyson push-ups. I may or may not get there. They're gonna be hard. I think I've only done them once. And if you're watching this video and you don't have any ailments or you don't have any injuries and you don't work out, why are you watching this video? You may as well go watch something else. Stop coming up with excuses as to why you can't do this. And you know you should, man or woman. Why would you not want to see yourself physically fit? You got to ask yourself that. Some people are saying, why even put workout channels on this platform? Because it's a symptom of our reality. Some people are in a negative space. Some people are lazy. Some people just don't have anyone to work out with. This is total beginner stuff here. What I'm doing, you can do. Anybody wants any more help, let me know. Let my brother know. We can do more of these videos for those of you who want to do working out with a partner, or you want somebody to look at your form. We do have education in this field. My brother has education in the field of training. The wife has a bunch of nutritional education. There's no reason you can't reach out. But you gotta find a way to move your body. If you have obese people in your family and you want to see them healthier, but they're not listening to you, sometimes the best way to help someone is to do it yourself. Show them the results, and wha-bam. Some people like to mimic others. Some people just don't know where to start. So, with that being said, I'm going to attempt to do 100 inverted Mike Tyson push-ups. I don't know how that's gonna look. I just know it's gonna be hard and it's gonna push myself. And I'm only gonna get stronger from it. If you need help with your workouts and you wanna see more of these videos geared to you, a beginner, or maybe you've been working out and you want to implement something new, or maybe you just want to work out with us, you can join the Streamyard and we can do it together. But for now, I'll play some music I produced last night. It's a new jam. I think it's highly motivating, and there probably won't be any more intermissions in between. I'm not going to count my reps out loud. Those of you who are watching, you do the counting for me. But yeah, it's gonna be hard. So stand by to stand by. That's the KTM 350. That's the wife's dirt bike. We're teaching her how to do enduro. That's 10 so far. 90 more. It's fucking hard. That's a pretty good workout, Cressy. The walk alone is beautiful, especially carrying luggage. I hope you're okay, Doommonger. For those of you who are here for the live and after the live, Cress had mentioned a very interesting fact. This man walks everywhere, walks to get his groceries and walks them home. If you think that's easy, you should go fucking try it. If someone thinks walking is easy, try it for 1 mile, 2 miles, 3 miles. Then try it going to the grocery store and lugging all your groceries home without a car, without a bike. Let me know how far you get. This man has medical issues and he's still doing it. Get your fat ass off of your sofa and go. No excuses. Cressy certainly doesn't have any. I bet it is, Cressy. Okay, these push-ups are getting harder and harder. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to complete the 10. I might have to break down and start doing them increments in 5, but we'll see. Make sure you take adequate breaks. They should be long enough for you to complete your next round. It's not a cardio. Okay, Cressy just said, by the way, it's 1.3 miles to his studio, or 1.2 miles to the store. 2 big hills on the way back, and the terrain is not flat at all. No matter what, he's got to clock over 3 miles. And we're not even talking about the weight that accrues on the way back. That's fucking ridiculous. He said his t-shirt is wet every time. What are you doing, people? Okay, some more words of advice from the crest head. Your number one goal should be to be as healthy as possible. Everything fades into insignificance if you're unhealthy. I live by that motto. Right now, my body is telling me just break down to intervals of 5. And I'm just trying to resist the urge of doing that. So what I'm gonna do is just take a little bit longer of a break and try to finish these last 30 out with 10s. So when you encounter this problem and you wanna change your setup, don't do it. Don't listen to the ego. Take longer breaks, pump out the 10. So when I'm done with this workout, Cressy said he's off for a walk down to the country park after I complete this workout. Oh, so after I complete this workout, he's gonna go for a walk for 2.5 miles away with his music equipment in a rucksack. It's a hot day here. And that's another thing, the synchronicity behind what Cressy said. My brother and I have been talking about getting a rucksack setup, so when we go on our 6-mile excursions, we can also be adding weight to that and further conditioning ourselves with a rucksack. That's a good idea as well. Okay, and people, don't forget, Cressy is 62 years old. He has some slight medical issues. He also has a cane. If you let this man do more than you and you don't have anything wrong with you, I would seriously question myself as to why I'm so lazy and why do I not want to be healthier and see my body in the best shape it could possibly be before you pass this earth. There's no excuses. At least Roy Droy Void is speaking facts. My laziness is genetic. Society conditioned me to be lazy. Take your pick. I've got 20 more. I didn't think this was going to be possible. But it's funny what you can push yourself to do. Troy said, the truth is I just woke up. Probably because you was on Weaver Beats all night. Trying to get that Hans Volt back. Y'all know what I'm talking about when I say I want to back that Hans Volt got. Hans Volt looked like he flexed 24/7. He don't know how to not flex. Try to bust 10 more out in a row. It is getting very difficult for this last 20. I'm making my breaks longer and longer. I'm gonna try to get this 10 pump in. Let's see how it goes. 10 more. This shit hurts. 10 more, and you can go, Cressy. See you, Chris. Take another minute of break so I can complete this. That was 10 100 inverted Mike Tyson push-ups. I was shaking like a leaf on a tree. That shit was fucking hard. I hate it. It's why I hate coming back in here doing shit like this. Fuck. Gotta pay those monkey taxes. Moser 505. Boom! Thank you for joining the session. If you clicked on this, you should have been working out with me. There's tons of ways to do the workout I just did. As an absolute beginner, there's ways to do the workout I did even harder. You can add a weighted vest. You can go higher in the incline with your feet. I'm sorry, I keep saying incline. It's a decline. Those were decline. I don't know if I made it look easy, but it's one of the hardest workouts I can do. I completed 100 without having to bounce down to the increments of 5. If you have to bounce down to the increment of 5, do it. If you can only do 2 and take a break, do it. My ultimate goal is to get to at least, maybe I'm doing 20. Maybe I'm doing 20 pumps before I take my break. That would be nice. But in order to do that, we got to keep training other muscle parts or other muscle portions. That last 10, I'm not gonna lie, My legs were absolutely shaking. I didn't think I was gonna be able to get 9 done. And somehow I found the will to dig in and get 10 done. These workouts need to be hard enough to where you do not want to come back into the gym ever again. If you can make your workouts that hard for you, what you can do, do it. My brother comes back Monday. We'll both be back in the gym. We're getting more and more consistent with it. So next week, look for a little bit more consistency in the gym. I can't stress enough for you beginners, in the live or after the live, put in the comment section what you want to see us do if you're an absolute beginner. We will go over it. You can hop in Streamyard and do the class with us. There's no reason for you not to be healthy. The only reason why we're putting this on our channel is because we know how to do it. We were educated in this field and we just want to help people. That is it. You gotta wanna do it. We're here to help you. And it helps us and it keeps us accountable and it keeps us going forward. Stick around. Today is Friday. Tonight is popcorn night, team jams. We'll see you tonight. This is me fucking off.